friction is not necessarily a bad thing. It's an essential thing in a way. I mean, if you were going super fast down a slide, you might want some friction so that you can slow down. But it doesn't always. It's not always a good thing. Sometimes it causes bumps. Friction tends to be something that just needs a bit of work, needs a bit of tweaking. Maybe you're doing something a certain way and there's resistance and it's causing a little bit of turbulation. And actually what you need to do is just step back from it and take a look at the parts that aren't working. What are the parts that you love about this? But which parts aren't working for you? Recognizing friction or something that's just not flowing properly is such a strength. Sometimes I feel like it can be something that we've been told that we need to do by a certain person, and that just doesn't work for you. Not everything works the same for everybody, and that's amazing because that means you are unique. We are all unique, and everything that we do, we should be doing differently because not one size fits all. And sometimes we can end up doing these things in our businesses and chugging away at them. And it can really cause us to stumble, and it can stop us from moving forward. It can quite often take up inordinate amounts of energy and space that we need to be kind of focusing elsewhere. So same as in the celebration one, take some time to kind of find the threads of that feeling within your business. When have you been doing something and you've just thought, this just isn't for me, this just isn't working for me? And take some time to write that down. And it might be that you start to see the parts that are really good, that you absolutely love about that particular thing. And then there's parts that just don't work for you. And that is where we're going to start to plan ahead as to how you can reduce the part that is friction and transform that into something else that works for you. Exploration is such a wonderful thing, and there's no shame in having done something and tried something and found that it doesn't work. The wonderful thing about that is that it means that you've been growing and that you have been trying and you have been putting the effort in. But now it's just time to kind of let go of that thing, smooth it out, and try something different. Maybe it's just a point for you to create some transformation, shake something up, or declutter it from your business. A suggested moon phase for this would be the dark moon and the waning phase. So the dark moon is the moon that is just before the new moon. Take caution when working on this day. This day can really throw up things for you that are incredibly challenging. You need to be in a sturdy mental place to be able to do this on the dark moon. Quite often on the dark moon, those are the days where we find ourselves just wanting to hide under the duvet and do absolutely nothing else. So please take care. Don't do it on the dark moon if you are not feeling up for it. But the waning phase, this is when we're going from the full moon to the new moon, and the moon is diminishing in size. It is getting smaller. And this is a great time for us to start kind of letting go of things and really recognizing the things that need to be let go of. And you will notice that in these phases, these things do come to the surface, and a lot of the time it is just about taking the space and time to notice. With these exercises and the guide, you do not need to do it all in one go. It doesn't need to be in one session, but it is really good to keep it in mind. And when you do find these things coming up, come back to this space, write it down, do the same as in the celebration one, express it in whatever way works best for you, and take note. And then from there, we are going to be able to build forward into spring.